Israel. Shalom, shalom. Right, brother Marquas coming back with a quick video. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. Right, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father and the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world will call Jesus Christ. Right, again, coming back with this quick video, and as you see the lesson, or the title of the lesson, all right, take affliction for what it is. All right, again, this shouldn't be shouldn't be too long, real quick video, but just to remind Israel and brothers and sisters that may be catching affliction, whether that's chastisement and or judgment, you want to take it for what it is. It's a time period where the Most High is trying a lot of brothers and sisters. Spirits is ramping up again stronger in the last days, and you may be catching hell within your life. Now, when in the midst of catching hell, you want to make sure that you take that with a cheerful heart. All right? You want to make sure that you take that with a cheerful heart. Don't be that brother or sister that every time something happens or goes on, the first thing you do is complain. The Most High is not dealing with a complaining, murmuring, sorrowful spirit 24/7. Sometimes you just got to take affliction for what it is. So first I want to, and that also comes with accountability as well. So I want to get this definition of accountability. It says, someone who is completely responsible for what they do and must be able to give a satisfactory reason for it. All right, the reason that's pretty much it on that. That's pretty much it on that. I'm reading it again. Someone who is completely responsible for what they do. So whatever action that you do, whether you sin or whether you've done righteousness, whatever comes behind that, you have to take accountability for all your actions. The only person you can blame in this life is yourself. All right, so I want to kick it off with Tobit, the 3rd chapter. I'm going to kick it off with Tobit, the 3rd chapter. And the reason I'm kicking it off with Tobit is because we read Tobit, the 3rd chapter. It's a beautiful prayer on how Tobit asked the Most High to forgive him, not only for his iniquities, but also the iniquities of our fathers. So this Tobit chapter 3 and we start at verse 1. Then I, being grieved, did weep, and in my sorrow prayed, saying. So mind you, as he's praying this, he's weeping and he's sorrowing. Let's see if he starts blaming the Most High for his emotions, and if he curses the Lord. Let's see the spirit and the mindset of Tobit is in as he's at his lowest state. It says, O Lord, thou art just, and all thy works and all thy ways are mercy and truth, and thou judgest truly and justly forever. Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorance, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before thee. So in the midst of Tobit being sorrowful, as he's crying, as he's beseeching the Most High, notice how through his sorrow, he's not cursing God. Notice how he's not complaining. Notice how he's not murmuring. All right, notice how he actually thanks and prays the Lord even in his affliction, in his lower state. That has to be the mindset of each and every one of us. Every time you're at a lower state, every time you feel like you're at rock bottom or things that's not going your way and how you thought it would be planned out, the Most High got another, path for you. You catching hell, you catching judgment or chastisement. Remember to thank the Most High. Remember the mercies of the Lord and how just his judgments are. All right, don't be that brother or sister that just complain all day. Most High not dealing. That's like a child. Let's say you're a father or a mother. You got a child. That child, he never thanks you. Right? He never does anything to show that he's grateful for you, but complain and sorrow and whine all the time. That's how the Most High looks at that individual that does, things like manna to it. And I want to touch on verse 3. It says, remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorance, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before thee. And Tobit, he took accountability of what his fathers even did. So Tobit knew that his fathers went off. Hey, our fathers went off, we sinned. That's Lamentations 5 and verse, number 7. So he even remembered, okay, my fathers did A, B, and C. They went off before the eyes of the Most High, and now that judgment is placed upon the seed line after it. He understood that. And because he understood that, he didn't curse the Most High. He actually was thankful and grateful and began praising the Most High and remember his mercies and his judgments. And that's the spirit that you should be in. Let's go to Job 2:9. All right, same thing with the mighty brother Job. All right, this is Job chapter 2 and verse number 9. It says, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine? And now if you read the book of Job, you know chapter 1, all hell broke loose. Chapter 2, all hell broke loose. So now you get to verse 9 of chapter 2. This is what his wife is saying after she sees all hell breaking loose within his life. It says, it's like in verse 9, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. And that's what a carnal individual will say, and that's what a carnal individual will also do. Oh man, A, B, and C happening, man. To hell with this truth. Most High, why you doing this to me? Lord, I've done A, B, and C. How come you haven't blessed me yet? That's what a carnal individual would do. But let's see what Job said, verse 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this Job said not with his lips. So what did Job do? He did what the title says, right? He took affliction for what it was. All right, again, sometimes you just got to take affliction for what it is. Me and the brother was actually talking about that last night. Certain things happen in your life. Payment come up. You ain't got the bread to pay it. Things happen. Sometimes all you got to say is just all praises to the Most High. When you feel yourself starting to get out the spirit, when things hit the fan, things not going your way, just remember, hey, all praises to the Most High. And after you say that, remember all the good things that the Most High has actually done for you. Don't be that individual who just think the Most High is a genie and he work on your time 24/7. Because he's not. The Most High is a father. And the father, what does he do? He disciplines his children. And he builds up his children with the tools that they need to prosper. The things that you're going through, that may be the Most High building you up for another time to come in your life. Or that could be judgment, because you went off and you sinned. Whether that be a past life or your life before you came into this truth. And the Most High remembered that iniquity, and he's judging you according to it. But he's doing it in a merciful way instead of just straight up killing you. So again, whatever affliction you're going through, that's why we say you got to take it for what it is, because it can always be worse. All right, let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3 and verse 11. All right, dealing with Eli. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3. And verse, this whole thing is good, right? 1 Samuel, chapter 3 and verse number 11. It says, and the Lord said unto Samuel, behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle. And that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I began, I will also make an end. So this is the Lord speaking to Samuel. And he's telling him what he's about to do to the house of Eli, right? Reading on verse 13. It says, for I told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. So Eli, Eli didn't really go off, but his sons went off. And Eli's sin was that he didn't check his sons. Eli himself wasn't, going out doing God knows what with the women at the temple, like how you see his sons doing in the 2nd chapter in 1 Samuel. Eli's sin was that he didn't judge his sons. So for that reason, him being a father, the Most High judged Eli. And it's going to say what Eli's judgment is. And we're going to read how Eli took that judgment, whether he scoffed, whether he was, mad, or he cursed the Most High. We're going to see and examine the mindset of Eli after getting this judgment from the Most High. All right, verse 14. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli, that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offerings forever. And Samuel lay until the morning, and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel feared to shoot Eli the vision. Then Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, here am I. And he said, what is the thing that the Lord have said unto thee? I pray thee, hide it not from me. God do so to thee, and more also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. That's the point, verse 18. And Samuel told him everything, and hid nothing from him. So Samuel, he told Eli all the things that the Most High told him. How he was going to judge his house for the iniquity that Eli knew of, right? And let's see Eli's response. Let's see if he went the hell off and he cursed God, or did he accept what the Most High offered him. Verse 18 again. And Samuel told him everything, every whit, and he had nothing from him. And he said, it is the Lord. Let him do what seemeth him good. And again, that's the perfect response. Hey, it's the Lord. Let him do what seemeth it good. The Most High want to take my children, as hard as any affliction may be. All right, whether the Most High take your children away for a season, whether you go broke, get into a car crash, break your shoulder, break your leg, or your rib, committed adultery, or for the women, your husband went the hell off and to idolatry or something. Whatever it is, sometimes you just gotta say, hey, let the Lord do good. Let me read that last part, so I won't butcher it. Right in verse 18 it says, let him do what seemeth him good. Sometimes that's all you gotta say. Let him do what seemeth him good. Let the Most High's will be done. All right, let his counsel be fulfilled. Let me not murmur and backbite and complain and turn my back away from this truth, but rather, whatever the Most High deems good in his eyes, let me just, accept it. Sometimes that's all. That's the mindset that you got to be in. All right, let's go to the book of Job 1-20. All right, touching on Job again. Salakia. All right, Job chapter 1 and verse number 20, and it reads. All right, Salakia. Job 1-20. And Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. And said, that's the point, verse 21, and said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Again, to get the context on why Job is saying this, you got to read Job, the first chapter. Read about all the hail and affliction that fell upon him suddenly. And after he kind of took in everything, what was going on, his statement, again, it wasn't cursing the Most High. He said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. He didn't say cursed be the name of the Lord. Man, the Lord done blessed me with A, B, and C, and he took everything from me. Man, to hell with this. No, he said, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. And that's that. You gotta have that. You gotta have that deeply rooted in your mind, because Christianity don't teach that. Christianity teaches that God is just a genie. Whatever you pray for, you can do all the sin you want. You can lust all you want, freak out for all the women you want. Women, you can do God knows what. You can just do anything. All you gotta do is believe on Jesus Christ, right? Believe on white Jesus, and pray, and you'll get the kingdom of heaven. All you gotta do is have faith. That's not what the Lord said. All right, the Most High will send affliction upon you. Why? Because he's a just God. That would be off if the Most High just blessed a man 24/7. That's wicked. That's no just balance. Read Proverbs chapter 11:1. The Most High is a just balance. And just like how we read in Job, the Most High will give to you, and the Most High will take it away from you. That can be judgment for what you did, in the truth, before the truth, in your past life. And whatever it is, you just got to take it for, for what it is. Or again, it could be chastisement. The Most High is building you up slowly. And he needs you to go through these different stages in your life. So when that time comes, when stuff hit the fan, you know how to move. All right, let's go to Psalms 39 and verse 7. All right, Psalms chapter 39 and verse 7. It says, and now, Lord, Slaki, right? And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb. I opened not my mouth because thou didst it. He said, look, I was dumb. I didn't even open my mouth because you did it. So even when King David, all the hell that King David caught within his household, right? His children rising up against him, right? Absalom, and even when David was on his deathbed, you had Adonijah rising up against King Solomon, and Amnon, which is David's son, rapes one of David's daughters. All hell was breaking loose. And what did David say? He said, I'm not even going to open my mouth against the Lord. Right? Let me read that verse 9 again. It says, I was dumb. I opened not my mouth because thou didst it. He said, you know what? I'm not even going to complain because Most High, you did this. Right? Because you're a just God. And me as a mortal man, my mind can't comprehend the things that you're doing in my life. Let me not complain. And let me just accept the fact that in all things, your hand is in this. Again, that's a beautiful mindset that each and every one of us should obtain to build up. All right, let's go to Judges chapter 11 and verse number 30. Right, Judges chapter 11 and verse 30. All right, Salak, yeah. It's the book of Judges chapter 11 and verse number 30. And it reads, man, this whole, all right, I'm going to start at verse 30. Now I'm going to jump down. It says, and Jethro vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, shalt thou without fail deliver the children of Ammon into my hands? Then it shall be that whosoever cometh forth out of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. So you got this man, Jephthah. He made a vow unto the Most High. You know anything about a vow? You know, Numbers the 30th chapter, Numbers the 6th chapter, Ecclesiastes the 5th chapter. You cannot go back from your word. Whatever comes out your mouth, you have to uphold that vow. So this vow, he said, Most High, if you deliver the children of Ammon, the so-called modern-day Japanese, into my hand, the first thing that comes out of my house, I'm going to offer it to you. Now, let's jump down to verse number, I'm going to read verse 34. So, you know, he ended up subduing them, right? He ended up subduing and overcoming the children of Ammon through the hand of the Most High. Verse 4, and Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass, when he saw her, that he rent his clothes and said, alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. Mind you, like how he said, he opened his mouth unto the Most High, and he can't turn back from this vow. So meaning what? You got to sacrifice his daughter, because that's what he said to the Most High. First thing that come out of my house, I'm gonna offer it to you. Now that was a completely unwise vow. I mean, that shouldn't even come across your mind, something like that. You know, you could tell he did it in zeal and kind of rushed it. Nevertheless, he gotta stay true to his word. Now, did his daughter do anything? All right, did his daughter, you know, have sin? No, it's not written what his daughter did. She didn't do nothing. This was all in Jephthah's hand. He the one that prayed this vow. But who has to pay for it? His daughter. So let's see the mindset of his daughter and what she said when she found out that she now has to get sacrificed for the Lord for what her father said. Verse 36. And she said unto him, my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which thou proceedeth out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of all the children of Ammon. And she said unto her father, let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. And this is a very, very, very tough account. You know, we not over righteous men. You read certain accounts like this, you shouldn't say, oh man, hey look, that was very easy, or what she said. No, you put yourself in her shoes. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's an extremely hard pill to swallow. Here it is. Them father and mother vowed a vow. Then the vow didn't fall on you. Now you got to get killed for what they said. That's a very hard pill to swallow. Nevertheless, what was her response? And she took it, you know, on the chin. Again, verse 36, she said unto him, my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which proceed out of thy mouth. And that's tough right there. Now, and that lets you know what type of spirit and how mighty his daughter was, though, as well. Again, she didn't curse the Most High. She didn't even curse her father. See, you let somebody say that right now. Let somebody be in her shoes right there. They would have cussed Jethro out. Oh, why the hell you do A, B, and C? You stupid, you know, nigga, hey, you know. No, I gotta block out the words, but hey, you know how Jake is. If you would have heard somebody vow a vow, and their vow caused you to be put to death, you'll probably try to kill that person. God knows what you'll do. But what was her mindset? All right, she decided to lean upon the Most High. All right. Oh, I forgot my girlfriend's birthday. All right, it's Folly in the chat. Nevertheless, let's go to 2 Samuel 12 and verse number 1. Let's go to 2 Samuel 12 and verse number 1. All right, this is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse number 1. Now, this is David. You know, David, when he committed adultery, you read the 11th chapter, chapter 12, Nathan the prophet is coming to check David for his sins. I don't want to read this whole thing, but let me see where I'm going to start at. All right, I'm going to start at verse 1 real quick. It's 2 Samuel 12 and 1. And the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there are two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing save one ewe lamb. Right? I'm going to jump down to verse 4. Now, we read this parable, you know, Nathan brought forth a parable to David as a representation for what David did to Uriah the Hittite. Verse 5. Now, David, his mindset is on that this is a carnal man. He's not understanding that this is a parable being brought to him yet. Right? Shalom to all the sincere family in the chat. All right, shalom to all the sincere family in the chat. It says, verse 5, and David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die. He shall restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. Verse 7, that's the point. It says, and Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord, God of Israel, I have anointed thee king over Israel, and I have delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. So the parable, to run through it, was a rich man had abundance, he had a poor man that had one lamb. The rich man stole the poor man's lamb, and he sacrificed, and well, not sacrificed it, but, you know, he stole it, he killed it, and he ate it. So when David heard this, he's thinking that this is, again, literal. But the whole time, this is referring, it's spiritual to what David did to Uriah the Hittite. Because the Most High increased David abundantly. Yet David, through his lust and through his flesh, he ended up going off and taking another man's wife that was, you know, under him. Seeing how David was king, of course. Now, reading verse number 8, this is the Most High starting to check David. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave the house of Israel and of Judah. And if thou had been too little, I will moreover have given thee such and such things. Wherefore thou despise the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword and the children of Ammon. Read that last part again. And has taken his wife and has slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. So Uriah ended up dying. He ended up giving up the ghost. Now let's see what David's judgment was for that. Now let's see how David took that judgment. All right, verse 13. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against thee, the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin, thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the children also that is born unto thee shall surely die. So David's judgment was, because you laid down with this woman's wife, now whatever seed, that baby that comes up out of her, your son is going to die. And that's a hard pill for a man to swallow, knowing that your seed is going to die. Here it is, the Most High told him that before it happened. Now let's see David's response, right? Read it on verse 14. Howbeit, it's like in verse 15. And Nathan departed into his house, and the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. And David therefore besought God for the child, and David fasted, and went in, and lay all night upon the earth. And the elders of the house arose and went to him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them, right? Because his mind is racing, knowing that his son, his seed, is about to give up the ghost, right? He damn conceived, and all hell breaking loose, and David's mind is kind of running rampant everywhere. It says, I'm going to jump down to verse 19. But when David saw that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead. Therefore David said unto his servants, Is the child dead? And they said, He is dead. Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and worshipped. So what did David do? After he found out about the judgment that the Most High judged him with, he worshipped God. That's what you got to do in this thing. You got to worship the Most High in all affliction. Again, whether that's chastisement you're going through, or whether that's judgment that you're going through, whatever affliction that you're catching, remember, worship the Most High. All throughout all these accounts, you don't see the righteous cursing the Lord, like how Job's wife told him to do. All right, curse God and die. Now you see every man that's catching hell, what are they doing? They're worshiping the Most High. They're calling upon the Lord. They're remembering the works and the mercies of the Most High. And we have to apply that same mindset to, if you apply that mindset to your life will be so much easier, so much simpler, and you'll get rid of a lot of stress. You know, stress holds, it puts weight on your spirit. But when you cast all your burdens upon the Lord, and you understand that the Lord, His hand is in all things, that in itself gives you comfort. All right, reading on in verse 20 again. Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and worshipped. Then he came into his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat. That's plain. All right, let's go to get this last precept. Let's go to Genesis 30 and verse 10. Genesis 30. Not 30, but 3 rather. Slack here. Genesis 3 and verse 10. Now this is what you don't want to do. All right, Genesis 3 and 10. This is when Adam and Eve, they went the hell off. They ate under the understanding of the serpent, and the Most High kind of got up with him. Verse 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I command thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, that's what Adam said, the woman whom thou gavest, to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So what happened when the Most High came and he pressed them and he brought, affliction upon them? They end up, Adam, who was the head, he ended up blaming his woman. That's why, and it's truth, what comes with taking it for what it is accountability. Adam went the hell off. Adam was supposed to uphold what he did. Hey, look, Most High. No, my woman came. I did A, B, and C. I hearkened unto her. I went off. I should have corrected her. He didn't do that. He said, hey, look, Lord, this is the woman that you gave me. She did this. So when he then pointed his finger to the woman, let's see what she said. Right, verse 13. And the Lord said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And now she's over here blaming the serpent, when in the first place she never even should have talked to the serpent. So that shows that no accountability right there as well. You don't want to move like that. Aren't you want to be able to take accountability for the things that the Most High sends your way? Because you never know what it could be. It could be for your benefit, And that's how you should look at it. Hey, look, it's coming from the Most High. Hey, all praises to the Lord. And you take that affliction cheerfully. As hard as it may sound, no matter what you're going through in life, remember, the Most High's hand is in the midst of it. All right, I'm going to bring out this closing. That's Sirach 43 and 30. That's Sirach 43 and verse number 30. It says, when ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And we exalt him. Put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. And no man can never go far enough when it comes to serving the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashema Mashak Wamalak, Hatazadak Yabshai. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yabshai. Kwam Yashala, Shalom.